in Islam, after the obligation coming down, this was the first and last Hajj. So he did one Hajj in his entire life, and he did 4 Umrahs in his entire life. That's why we call it Hajjatul Wada, the farewell pilgrimage of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is as far as the history and the obligation and the definition is concerned. What are the 6 conditions that make the Hajj obligatory upon a person? The first condition is he or she has to be a Muslim. If somebody doesn't believe in Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then Hajj is not obligatory on them. Second, a person has to be sane. If a person unfortunately is insane, he's a millionaire, Hajj is not obligatory upon him. The third condition is you have to be baligh. You have to be an adult. You should have reached the age of puberty. If a child does Hajj along with his parents, very good. We should take our children to Hajj if they are of this age, that they don't become a source of botheration and a wastage of time, because when the kids are small, you have to pay attention to them more. And it's such a once in a lifetime journey. So alhamdulillah, if they are 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, though they have not reached the age of puberty, and you can afford to take them to Hajj, very good. This will be an optional Hajj on their behalf. You will also get the reward. But the obligation will not be fulfilled. Once that boy or girl grows up and he or she fulfills all the 6 conditions, then Hajj will become obligatory upon them. That was a nafil Hajj that they did, that they performed before reaching the age of puberty. So 3 conditions until now: Muslim, sane, adult. Fourth condition is a person should be healthy enough to undertake this journey. If a person is sane also, he's adult also, he has the money also, but may Allah forbid he's paralyzed. He's lying on the bed or one side of his body is not working. Hajj is not obligatory upon him. Sure, someone needs some extra help and he's on a wheelchair sometimes, for example, and there are people who can help him, alhamdulillah, the availability is there, then sure, he should do the Hajj. But in other words, this much health conditions should be there that he can take care of himself to the maximum extent. So this is the 4th condition. The 5th condition is, fuqaha, the jurists have written 8 conditions, but I'm skipping the last 2 because in today's time they are not implementable, to make it easy for everyone. The 5th condition is a person should have enough money, financial sources to undertake this journey. What does it mean? For example, the package of Hajj is $10,000. I'm just giving an example. So he should have this money of buying the package that will cover his flying, coming back also, staying there in the hotels, his food also, his transportation, everything. Other than that, then family is back home. They have to pay the bills. They have to pay the rent. They have to buy the groceries. Whatever the liabilities and the responsibilities are, this much money should be there with the family also, that for the 15 days he is away or 20 days he is away, they can take care of themselves in a decent, moderate manner. Then in that case, Hajj is obligatory upon that person. If such is not the case, then Hajj is not obligatory upon that person. This is as far as the men folk are concerned. Our women folk, our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, our wives, sometimes they don't have savings in the form of dollars, maybe $1,000, 4,000, 5,000. But alhamdulillah, they have gold jewelry. And that gold jewelry reaches more than the package of Hajj. They have a gold jewelry that's worth $12,000, for example. Then Hajj is obligatory upon that sister. May it be the wife or the mother or the sister or the daughter. So this is also something that we as the head of the household should look into. And the women folk, we should share this with the women folk in our house. Those who are listening should look into it. This introspection has to be done. Now the question arises, a woman only has a savings of $2,000 on the side, but she has a jewelry of $10,000. Should she sell her jewelry? Yes, she should sell her jewelry, because jewelry is not a basic necessity. And this is not what I am saying. All the fuqaha are unanimous on this. All the jurists of the past are that this is a savings. So savings has to be spent. If something would have been a basic necessity, it wouldn't stay there. It would be consumed in a matter of days. So something that is lying there means this is a saving. Unless a person is in debt, that's a different situation. Then sure, he has to minus his debt and then see if Hajj is still obligatory upon that person. Once again, as we usually mention in Ramadan, having a mortgage on the house doesn't mean you are on debt. Financing a car for 5 years doesn't mean you are in debt, because these are long term debts, and Islam doesn't consider long term debts as debts. Otherwise, most of us sitting here would be considered poor. Zakat will also be not farz on us, Hajj will also be not farz on Hajj. So, this is not the time to go in so much detail, but we can consult the ulama just in case if we are not able to understand or comprehend this. So this is the case as far as the women folk are concerned. Last condition that is only related to our sisters, and that condition is that a woman, Hajj is farz on her when she is accompanied by a mahram, by a husband or a mahram. Because the famous hadith of Bukhari and Muslim says, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a woman should not travel except she is accompanied by a husband or a mahram. What is a husband is understood. What is a mahram? Mahram is a relationship that a woman is not allowed to ever marry in her life. Mahram is a relationship that a woman is not allowed to marry ever in her life. Father, son, likewise grandson. Let's go on the upper side. Chacha, the brother of the father, paternal uncle. Mamu, the father of the brother of your mother, that is also your uncle. Nephews from the sister's side, nephews from the brother's side. These are major examples of maharim, that the marriage cannot be done. So if these people are available or the husband is available, then it's obligatory on a woman, on a sis or a sister to undertake this journey. There is another hadith of Sunan Daraqutni, which is also an authentic hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam explicitly says, a woman should not go for Hajj unless she's accompanied by a mahram. Okay. So these are the reasons the ulama of all the four schools of thought, all the four mazahib, Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali, are unanimous on this opinion that a woman should not undertake this journey unless she's accompanied by a husband or a mahram. If she goes without the husband or without the mahram, just by herself, no mahram is there, she'll incur the sin of it. Undertaking a good journey also, and at the same time incurring a sin, this is not munasib. This is not appropriate. Now the question might be there in your mind that we have heard from ulama that if a mahram is not there, there is a group of trustworthy women folk in the Hajj group, then you are allowed to go. Then what? So is such the case or not? If yes, then why are you saying a woman should not go to Hajj without a mahram? So we should understand the details. Sometimes brothers get confused. This is not a matter of confusion. It's a matter of the difference of opinion in different cases. As far as in the availability of a case of a mahram, she is not allowed to go for Hajj without a mahram. But what about the case where there is no mahram alive? Everybody has passed away. There is no mahram alive, or naturally there is no mahram in this world. But she has the money. She fulfills all the remaining 5 conditions. What in this case? Should I go for the second opinion, which says that if a trustworthy group of women folk are in the Hajj group, you can undertake this journey? So that is why I said here comes the difference of opinion. Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah is of the opinion, no, in this case also, a woman is not allowed to go for Hajj. It's not obligatory on her, because you are trespassing these ahadiths. You are going against these explicit ahadiths of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which he says you should not go for Hajj except you are accompanied by a mahram or non-mahram. There is another hadith in which a sahabi came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, my wife is going for Hajj and I have given name in the expedition to go. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, take the name out of the expedition and accompany your wife in your Hajj. So these are evidences because of which Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah says it's not obligatory upon her. She can do the wasiyah, she can write a will that after my death, since I wasn't able to find a mahram in my life, from my inheritance, somebody should do Hajj Badal on my behalf. Now, if she leaves this much inheritance, that if the first one third is taken out, and within that one third of her inheritance, a package for one person can be bought, then the Hajj is obligatory upon the inheritors because of the will, because of the wasiyah. But if, for example, she only leaves $12,000, you cannot take out 10 from it. You can only take out one third of it, okay? Because the remaining two thirds is the right of the inheritors. So then, sure, it's not obligatory upon the inheritors also. But Imam Shafi rahimahullah has a different opinion. He says no. In this case, a woman can go, she is fulfilling all the 5 conditions, but no mahram is there. Then she can see if in that group a trustworthy group of women folk are there, then she can go. Such is the opinion of Imam Malik rahimahullah also. So here there is a difference of opinion. In other words, there is nothing to be confused. If you ask a Shafi'i scholar, he will give this opinion. If you ask a Hanafi scholar, he will give this opinion. Based on whatever school of thought or mazhab you follow, you have to follow it. So in other words, there are not two opinions that you say that one says this and the other says this. There's a difference of opinion based on the school you follow, but that is also in the case when there is no mahram alive. Sometimes mahrams are there, but they are not ready to accompany the woman, the mother, the sister, the wife. Then in that case, no imam says that you should go along with a trustworthy group of women folk. Hajj is not obligatory upon you because the mahram being there is not accompanying you. Whatever was said and heard, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us an understanding of these things. Ameen.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله